In some villages in the Philippines, when the moon is full and the air turns quiet, people lock their windows, salt their doors, and whisper prayers. Because if you hear wings flapping in the dark, slow, heavy, like leather scraping the sky, it might already be too late. This is the story of the Manananggal. The Manananggal is one of the most feared creatures in Philippine folklore. By day, it looks like a normal person, often described as a beautiful woman, quiet, kind, unnoticed. But at night, especially during a full moon, she does something unnatural. Her body splits in half. Her upper body tears away from her waist. Bat-like wings grow from her back. Her intestines hang beneath her, still alive, still moving. And while her lower body is left behind, hidden somewhere, the upper half flies into the night, searching for victims. This creature is more than just a monster. It's a living nightmare that walks among us. Imagine your neighbor, your friend, or that quiet woman you see at the market. By day, she's harmless. By night, she becomes a predator from the deepest, darkest parts of our imagination. The transformation itself is horrifying. It's not a magical puff of smoke. It's a visceral, grotesque separation of self. The upper torso, complete with head and arms, detaches and takes flight, leaving its legs standing, vulnerable, in the dark. This flying half is a terrifying sight, trailing its own entrails as it glides through the night sky, its long hair whipping in the wind. Its goal is simple: to feed, and its preferred meal is what makes the legend so chilling. It preys on the most vulnerable, particularly pregnant women, using its long, proboscis-like tongue to suck the life from the unborn. But it's not picky. Anyone sleeping alone, anyone vulnerable, is a potential target. It embodies the fear of the unknown, the fear of what lurks just beyond the safety of our homes. Stories of the Manananggal come from many parts of the Philippine Scapas: Iloilo, Antique, Cebu, Bahao. Long before electricity, before streetlights, before cameras, people disappeared. Pregnant women were found weak and pale. Animals were drained of blood. Babies became sick for no reason. Villagers, said the Manananggal, used a long, thin tongue, sharp like a needle, to suck blood from victims through rooftops or open windows. Some say it prefers unborn children. Others say it hunts anyone who sleeps alone. And it always attacks silently. These tales aren't just campfire stories. They were explanations for real tragedies in a time before modern medicine and science. In isolated villages, when a baby was lost during pregnancy, or a person died in their sleep, fear needed a name and a face. The Manananggal became that face. The idea of a creature that could reach you from the sky, slipping its tongue through the smallest crack in a nipa hut, was a tangible fear. It wasn't a ghost you couldn't touch. It was a physical being that left physical evidenza, weakened mother, a lifeless body. The stories spread from island to island, each one adding a new layer of terror. They served as a warning. Stay inside after dark, protect your family, and never ever sleep with your windows open. This creature was the ultimate boogeyman, a symbol of the dangers that lay waiting in the deep, unlit provinces of the night. The old people say there are signs. If you hear a sound like tick, 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 and the sound gets quieter, it means the Manananggal is getting closer. This is perhaps its most terrifying trait. Unlike other monsters that get louder as they approach, the Manananggal's clicking sound fades, lulling you into a false sense of security. The moment you think the danger has passed is the moment it's right above you. Other signs are more primal. If dogs suddenly howl at the moon for no reason, if chickens panic in their coops at night, if the air suddenly carries a faint metallic smell, like rust or old blood, these are the warnings nature gives you. Some say you can even recognize a Manananggal during the day. They have subtle tells. They avoid salt and spicy foods, and they absolutely hate garlic. Their eyes have a strange intensity. They don't blink when stared at for too long, as if they're looking through you, not at you. And they never seem tired, no matter how late they disappear at night. They might have a faint line around their waist, a subtle mark of their nightly separation. These clues turn everyday interactions into a paranoid game of observation. Is the woman who flinched when you offered her salted fish just a picky eater, or is she hiding a monstrous secret? The folklore makes you question everyone. The Manananggal has one terrible weakness: its lower body. When it separates, the lower half stays hidden in tall grass, abandoned houses, or deep in the forest. It stands there, motionless and defenseless, waiting for its other half to return. If you find it, you hold the creature's life in your hands. And if you sprinkle salt, crushed garlic, or holy ash on the exposed flesh of the waist, the Manananggal cannot return. It is doomed. When sunrise comes, the creature, unable to rejoin its body, is destroyed by the sunlight, dying in agony, forever separated from itself. This weakness is the core of the hunt. It's why villagers used to form search parties, armed with torches and bolos, combing the darkness. They weren't just searching for a monster. They were searching for what looked like a human body, standing alone and forgotten. Imagine the sheer terror of stumbling upon that in the middle of the night, the lower half of a person, just standing there. The only hope for survival against such a creature was to exploit this singular vulnerability. It turned the hunted into the hunters, giving them a fighting chance against a nightmare that flew through the sky. This element of the story provides a sliver of hope in an otherwise terrifying legend. In one old story from a rural village, a woman was known for her exceptional beauty. Men admired her from afar. Women were wary of her, whispering that her allure was unnatural. Around the same time, a darkness fell over the village. Every night, livestock went missing. A pregnant woman who lived nearby became very ill, her strength fading with each passing day. The village elder suspected a Manananggal was at work. One night, a brave young man, determined to uncover the truth, followed a faint sound of leathery wings. The sound led him to a grove of mango trees at the edge of the village. There, he found something impossible: a woman's lower body, standing perfectly still in the shadows of a tree. He didn't scream. He ran. He ran back to the village and gathered salt and garlic. With a group of men, he returned to the spot. They covered the exposed flesh of the standing torso with handfuls of salt, chanting prayers as they worked. They then waited, hiding in the darkness. Just before sunrise, a scream echoed through the entire village, a sound that was loud, angry, and utterly inhuman. It was a shriek of pure terror and pain. In the morning, the beautiful woman was gone. She was never seen again. And from that day on, the attacks stopped. The sick woman recovered. The village was safe again. The Manananggal is more than just a monster. It is the fear of the night itself. It is the fear of betrayal, the chilling idea that evil can hide behind a beautiful and familiar face. It represents the duality of human nature, the kind neighbor by day, the bloodthirsty predator by night. This story haunts us because it feels personal. The monster isn't some distant dragon in a cave. It could be living right next door. Even today, in modern cities and rural provinces alike, people swear they hear those leathery wings beating in the dark. Elders still warn their children to come home before the sun sets, because legends don't survive for this long, passed down through generations, unless they're fed by a very real, very persistent fear. The Manananggal is not just a myth. It is a cultural memory of a time when the night was full of things that could not be explained. So tonight, if you hear something scratching the air outside your window, if you hear a faint clicking sound that seems to get quieter, don't look up and don't answer the sound, because the Manananggal only needs one invitation. Lock your doors, salt your windows, and remember, some monsters don't live in stories.